Hello and welcome to the Daily Red, your lunchtime catch-up on all things Liverpool FC and your daily reminder that the Reds are Premier League champions. Right, today we have some news. Both Lewis Steele and David Lynch reporting that Liverpool have set a £50 million price tag for Jarrell Quansah and that he is a definite candidate for departure. So this is interesting for a couple of reasons. You would imagine we wouldn't sell both Quansah and Joe Gomez in the same summer because then we have to replace both of them. And while Joe is definitely the better of the two, he's also the least reliable of the two, the less reliable of the two because of the injury issues. So if you're selling Quansah and bringing someone in, you really need to ensure that from an injury point of view, they're going to be pretty close to bulletproof because you've already got injury concerns with Ibu and the injury concerns with Joe. Whilst Virgil is 34 this summer, you really don't want to be overtaxing him continually for the next number of seasons because we want to try and, extend his career as much as possible and ensure that he continues to play at the highest possible level. So ideally, you'd want to be managing his minutes and bringing them down. And the best way we'll be able to do that is if we can sign a centre-back who is as rock solid from an injury point of view as he's been. Obviously, he had the bad ACL tear, but that's a freak incident caused by Jordan Pickford. Other than that, Virgil hasn't really had any issues since joining the club. Quansah for 50 million seems aggressive from Liverpool, and it will also rule out a lot of the clubs that I'd imagine would be interested in him. So, if you look around Europe, because the article from David Lynch says that there's interest from clubs in Germany. There's only probably one club in Germany who's paying 50 million for a centre-back, and that's Bayern, who I don't think will want Jarrell Quansah. Leverkusen, I could see having interest with Jonathan Tah leaving, but I don't see that they'd pay 50 million for him. I could see them paying maybe 35, and maybe you do it as 35 and add-ons to 50, and maybe that makes everybody happy. But you are very much narrowing the pool of clubs that could buy him when you set that aggressive a price point. Because if we look through the Premier League, which again, there's reports that he's got quite a few clubs who are interested, I don't see any of the newly promoted teams paying even 35 plus add-ons to get to 50, let alone the 50. We wouldn't sell to a couple of clubs, obviously. And of those that are left, I mean, who can afford it? Who's he good enough for that can afford it? He's not good enough for City. He's not good enough for Arsenal in terms of going there and being a starter, because if you're paying that kind of money for a centre-back, you want them to come in and be a starter. Could it be Newcastle? They had interest last summer. I think Mark Wehi is clearly their top target, and I think he's more suited to playing next to Botman. Quansah and Botman's a little bit slow-footed, so I'm not sure the fit is great there. I think Mark Wehi makes a lot more sense for them. I think he also gives them a leader and an organiser at the back, which is something I think they'll lack considering young full-backs, and I don't think Botman is as comfortable in that sort of role. I don't foresee Chelsea coming in from. Again, I think a Quansah-Colwill pairing is a little bit on the slow side. Aston Villa? I mean, Villa's a possibility. They could do with a new centre-back, because then they could move Ezri Quansah to right-back. Quansah, Pau Torres and Ian Maatsen. You can shift that into a 3 and let Maatsen attack from left back, and that's pretty strong. So Villa might be one to keep an eye on, but they have profit and sustainability issues. They probably need to sell before they can do anything. Is there a swap deal there that we could look into? Could it be Quansah goes there and Boubacar Kamara comes to us? Maybe we give them some cash as well. Forest, they don't need him. They have Milenkovic, they have Murillo. Doesn't get in their team, so I'm not sure that's the right move. He would start for Brighton, but Brighton are not going to pay that type of money for him. With Dean Huijsen gone, he starts for Bournemouth, but again, they're not going to pay that type of money. Brentford aren't paying that type of money. Fulham aren't paying it. Crystal Palace aren't paying it. Everton almost certainly aren't paying it. The only way it would work with Everton is if we were getting Branthwaite and they were taking Quansah, and then you could inflate both fees. West Ham, I mean, maybe. Could see him in the middle of a back three there. Todibo, Quansah, Kilman. Maybe. But again, I don't think they're paying 50 million for him. We wouldn't sell to United. Wolves won't pay that type of fee. Tottenham have no need for him. And obviously Leicester, Ipswich, and Southampton are gone. So you really are narrowing the pool of teams that could be interested in him and have the money to do it. You know, because I think some of the teams that would definitely be interested, I could see Brighton, I could see Bournemouth, I could see Palace, but they won't pay that type of fee. I don't even think they'd do 35 and add-ons. I think they might be like 30 and add-ons to 35, and that would be about the height of what they would be willing to pay for him. Because these clubs have to be sustainable, and they have to look at every purchase with the view of, well, what will we get when we sell them in 2 or 3 years? Because that's their whole MO, is to bring players in, develop them and sell them. And then for them, if it's a choice between buying Jarrell Quansah from us for 30, 35 million, or going abroad and buying a player of a similar caliber for 15 million, they'll buy the 15 million pound player knowing that they'll be able to sell him even if it's for 2025. Whereas if they've got to sell Quansah for 2025, it represents a loss for them, and that just hurts them. It's a little bit of an aggressive price. It may well be that it's just us posturing, because if David Lynch is saying he's a definite candidate for departure, then it's likely that we are open to negotiation. There is quite a bit of flex there. I'd imagine part of Quansah potentially looking at going would be him wanting minutes, more so than the club actively wanting to sell. It could well be him wanting to play more. And he knows that at Liverpool, his chances will be limited because of the starting two being so good. And he's not a great fit as an Ibu replacement. He's more suited to playing Virgil's role than Ibu's role, because he struggles when he has to defend the big space. Kostas Tsimikas is also believed to be one that could head for the door. He is allegedly attracting interest. Leeds, Nottingham Forest and Wolves have been linked. And both Valencia and Lille are interested as well, according to Lewis Steele. So Leeds would make sense. Junior Firpo likely to leave. Kostas has played in the Premier League plenty, and I think he would represent a decent buy for them. Wolves, if Aït-Nouri leaves, he makes sense. Otherwise, he'd just be a backup there. Is he really going to want to trade being a backup at Liverpool for being a backup at Wolves? Forest is kind of interesting. Now, they've had issues with their left backs all season. It's been Nico Williams playing there quite a bit, obviously. They had Alex Moreno in on loan. They used somebody else there. I can't think who was it. Harry Toffolo, somebody else. Nico was the most regular starter there, and he was the weak link in their defence from a defensive point of view. But he was offering quite a bit going forward. Of course, the brain trust at Forest know Kostas really well, because they also own Olympiacos, which is where he was for 5-6 years before we bought him. So they know him very well. So that one does make a bit of sense. But again, like, is he really any better than Nico? Probably about the same, isn't he? Valencia would make sense. Let's have a look at their squad. I know they've got... Valencia always produce left backs, so they rarely buy a left back. It's just sort of one of the things that Valencia are known for, is regularly producing good left backs. Now, let's see. I mean, Jose Guy is their captain. He's their left back. He's 30. Unless he's planning to leave. No, his contract is extended until 2027. Unless he's planning to leave, I can't see it. Lille, I would imagine, is, again, kind of sale dependent. Yeah, he's probably better than Ismaili. Maybe Lille makes sense regardless of whether they make a sale or not, because Mitchell Bakker is only there on loan, and Kostas, I think, is better than him. He's better than Ismaili, and Samuel Umtiti can't play left back anymore because his legs will just fall off. So Lille could make sense. I wonder if there's a bit of a deal that could be worked there with Lille, where we get somebody and they get Kostas. It maybe helps us bring the price down. Buadi would be an unbelievable young player to get in. From a centre-back point of view, could we have interest in Alexandro? He's a little shorter than we'd normally buy centre-backs at, but he's really, really good. Be an interesting one to monitor. I think the likelihood is that Kostas leaves. Though I did know in his comments after the game on Sunday, Robbo was kind of hinting that he might go as well. So we'll wait and we'll see. It could be any of them. It could be all of them. We don't really know how big a clear out Liverpool are planning, how big the squad turnover is going to be. The fact that we have 3 deals almost done, plus the Mamardashvili one, before we get to June is a really promising sign. But we don't know how much else they'll want to do through this summer window.
Reds, it's Jack here, and that was a clip from one of Anfield Index's audio podcasts. If you have enjoyed the video, make sure you do like, share and subscribe to keep up to date on all things LFC. We record around 100 audio podcasts every month, with our shows featuring match-going fans, top journalists, professional analysts and even Liverpool legends along the way, with the great Dane himself, Jan Molby, joining us every single week. If you want to listen to all our podcasts for free, head over to anfieldindex.com/podcasts. Our audio shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Anfield Index. Or if you prefer to listen to all our podcasts in full and without any ads, why not head over to AI Pro today to check it out now at AnfieldIndexPro.com. If you want to get involved in the great growing community of Liverpool fans, check out the Anfield Index Discord. The link is in the description. Do get involved with that, from Reds around every corner of the globe. For now, Reds, hope you enjoyed this video.